We live in perilous times.
Times of
plague,
Quarantine.
murder hornets,
economic hardship,
Hand washing.
civil unrest,
dust storms,
Wildfires.
coin shortages,
coin shortage? Seriously?
Social distancing.
A world in turmoil.
Clearly, there's only one thing that can pull the world back from the brink.
Pirates.
One crew will find a way.
No method too dangerous.
No means too weird.
No profits too great.
In a world gone wrong, these buccaneers will stop at nothing to save us all from
The lost year.
Ahoy, my friends. Your old buddy Doc here again with a public service announcement for all of my pirate crews out there. Whoever took the Tiki idol, put it back now.
Right, no, separate them until I've had a chance to question them all.
Let go, okay? You don't have to be so tight. You don't have to be so tight. Okay, I'm going to... Go, let me see. How? That's my pinky. That's my pinky. That's my pinky. Okay, I'm sitting down. How? Why? What was they arresting me for? Where did you get that? Okay, alright, I'm focused. Alright. Okay. So what do you want to know?
Yeah. Get off. All right, I just want to say it was a flagrant disregard for the rules. And yes, I know, we're pirates. We shouldn't have to follow rules. But they're like guidelines and they help keep order on the seas. And in this case, they might have helped not get all of us cursed. Anyhow, seeing that I'm here and you're asking my side of the story, I suppose I'll tell you.
Now, Captain, I mean, very honestly, this ain't the time to be putting me to the Inquisition. I mean, I've been feeling somewhat out of sorts. No, there's nothing you can do to help. I just need to be alone with me thoughts. Yeah, I need to be alone with me thoughts. Oh. All right then.
Hello, Captain. No, I don't want to. I would really prefer just to not talk. I plead the 2nd, the 28th, the 3rd.
Well, look, I'll just tell you this much. It's not my fault, all right? I was doing exactly as I was told to do as the best watchstander the Fortune's Folly has. Aye, 'tis be true. That's right. Billy the Bold knows how to stand watch. I try to write everything down in the logbook. Alright, so knowing how to read and write is something, man, like you need to know how to do, but that's semantics.
Was I in the temple? Nay, I wasn't in the temple. I mean, you know I've spent enough time ashore in India. I've hidden in the jungles from the likes of the Dutch often enough. And, you know, in the jungles you find temples, and temples turn to ruins. Generally, once the ruins, they're cursed. I mean, yeah, I know enough to steer clear of cursed ruins. Well, I know that, but the rest of this fish-brained crew, not so sure.
Aha. Everything that happened that led up to doing the thing that we weren't supposed to do.
Well, you see, as Captain, here's what happened.
We found this uncharted island, we got to the beach and set up camp fairly early in the day. Then, as we're scrounging around in the brush, we realized there was a path leading into the jungle. Well, curiosity piqued. We all headed off the path into the jungle. And what do we find? Lo and behold, but a fancy giant temple. Now, wouldn't you think that would be full of a bunch of treasure? Well, we did. So we headed in to look around. As we're looking around, searching each little side room for treasure, we did come upon a really intricate looking fancy tiki idol. At least 2 people. I mean, Bones looked like she wanted it. And I know Billy likes those kind of things. They reached out to grab it, to touch it, when Devlin shouted, "Hold!" There was an inscription near the idol. As such inscriptions are wont to say, it did mention a scary curse. If the tiki should be removed, don't take the idol out of the temple, eh? Now that's the kind of guidelines, that's the kind of rules that any pirate should be happy to follow. I don't like curses, so I try to stay as far away as possible of any cursed item. I won't be touching it, I won't be taking it, I won't be within 10 feet of it. I learned my lesson last time.
So I know, remember you said that we should not go anywhere near the temple. You know, don't go inside the temple because of the curse. And I'm not going in there because, you know, I'm cursed enough as it is.
So anyhow, we all left the temple, mostly without anything in our pockets, which kudos to us. We've set up, we've had our food, we've had our drink, Billy's gone to watch, and everyone settles in for the night. Like any other normal night, really.
First, hold on. Before you go on to me and trying to figure out what the hell happened there, I'll tell you what happened. I was trying to find me mate who was supposed to be on watch. That's right, I know. So if you want to blame anything, you blame Redlegs.
Redlegs gonna replace him on watch. That's the schedule.
I know, Captain, I know. I was supposed to relieve Billy at 6 bells, and I didn't really wake up until 7 bells, but that's not my fault. You know, who's ever on watch is supposed to wake up the next person so they have time to get ready so they can, you know, go on watch, and he never woke me up. I don't know what happened.
So it was 7 bells, and I hadn't seen relief yet. Redlegs was supposed to be there, and everybody else all scampered off out of camp and everything like that.
Why was it out of camp? Well, firstly, I was in camp. I mean, I was looking for Mercy because I thought rather fancied a cup of tea. Well, don't be pulling such a face, Captain. You know that I admire Bartholomew Roberts greatly, and tea's one of his guidelines. Besides, I like it. But I never did clap eyes on Mercy. You know, I suppose she's off working on that rum cure with May. Captain, do we really need to be doing this now? I mean, we can't do this later, tomorrow, another time, just not right this... All right, fair enough. So, well, I sees Billy, so, and he's got his musket, and he says he's on watch. So... Honestly, Captain, if you noticed, he calls himself Billy the Bold. I mean, he's bold enough during a calm, but have you ever seen him when there's any trouble about?
I think Bones went to go, like, you know, write her little love note.
I was on the beach. The ocean was a-roaring. Billy over there, he told me, nobody's getting past Billy the Bold. I snorted. Anyways, I says to Billy, I'm not going back on the ship. It's too crowded. We have this lovely beach here. The sand is warm, the water's cool, the breeze is a-blowing. You were on the beach, you know what it's like. Okay. Alright. He knows what it's like. Anyways, I'm on the beach. I'm just going to go to sleep. Because, you know, to look this pretty, it takes a lot of beauty rest. It is not easy. It's easy if you're me, but most people require lots of beauty rest. And so I went to sleep.
Anyway, he says he never laid eyes on Mercy neither. So then I'm thinking to myself, well, maybe it's not so much Mercy I need. Maybe what I need is to find Doc, you know, because he might be able to help with... So I asks, have you seen Doc? And, you know, Billy says, I've seen Doc. He's going down to the beach. He's looking for medicinals. Because, you know, some medicinals are more potent if you collect them at night.
Doc went to go smoke some herb. Or was that pick some herbs? Smoke herb or pick? Anyway, he was doing something with the weeds. I think everyone else was asleep, if I'm correct. But I'll tell you who wasn't asleep, and that was Redlegs. Redlegs had nowhere to be but on watch.
Anyway, so I do wake up and I look around. I don't see anybody actually. I don't know where everybody is. I figure they're either off working or something like that. And I don't know where Billy is. But I'm ready to, I'm almost ready to take over the watch. But I figure, since I'm up, I might as well take care of, those things that you have to do when you wake up. And I didn't want to do it around the camp because, well, that's just rude. And I didn't want to do that. I figured I'll just go around the outside of the temple, because we're all supposed to stay away from there anyway. So I go, although now that I think about it, on the way out there, I saw this, it was like a shadow of this, I don't know, something big. I don't know if it was, a big person or possibly a bear, although I don't know if they've got bears here. Anyway, so I go out, I take care of it, and as I'm coming back towards the temple, I see a wee little person, like a leprechaun, or maybe it was a Menehune. Those little people that they have in Hawaii? You've heard about the Menehunes? Have you heard about those? I'll tell you about them later. Anyway, yeah, they're a lot like leprechauns, only they're Polynesian.
So I decided, okay, I need to go find him. So then I go walking in the woods, walk, and I walk into the woods, and I'm trying to find him.
So off I go to the beach, and there's no sight of Doc, and actually there's nothing else there either. There really isn't. So I was thinking, well, maybe that path that we were going up earlier in the day when we were exploring the island, maybe he's going up that path. So so I starts up it, and I'm keeping a weather eye on the jungle, and I'm keeping the other eye peeled for Doc, because you just got to keep an eye on the jungle, because there's living things out there. You don't know what you're going to come across. So, but I got up to the temple. I went that far because I was still looking for Doc. I haven't seen Doc at all, and yet no, I did not go in that temple, because temple ruins at night, that's when curses are the darkest. No, not going to bring myself any mischief by going into temple ruins at night. But I ain't be seeing Doc, so I'm figuring, well, I'll probably have to get in touch with him in the morning and see if he can help.
So I decide to come back towards the camp, and of course, running up the path to the temple is Billy, and he's all upset.
And then all of a sudden, I see him running straight at me.
I guess because he thought I should be relieving him from his watch, on time.
Him and I are getting into an argument. The first thing I start talking to him about is the fact that he wasn't on watch on time.
And I was trying to explain to him exactly the reason why is because he's the one who forgot to, wake me up. It's his fault, really, if you want to get, technical about it.
I think you need to be taking care of this and being here and being on watch, and then also relieving me so that I can go relieve myself, because I had a...
And all of a sudden, that big shadowy character that I saw before, I see the big one.
This big red thing came running out, like besides his red legs coming at me, this big thing came running out, and next thing you know, I look up, and all of a sudden I see this hairy monster.
It looks really hairy, like a Sasquatch, or maybe Mercy. You've seen her hair, when she gets, all fluffy like that. Yeah. Anyway.
Just going.
So he gets, I don't know, nervous or scared or something. He goes he yells up for it to stop or whatever. And then he takes his blunderbuss and shoots at it. But he's, he's Billy. So the safest place to be when Billy's shooting at you is right where Billy's shooting at.
Look, I learned how to fire a matchlock musket out of a picture book. That's gotta tell you something. All 27 steps. Memorized. Right here.
But he must have missed by a mile, because that shadowy figure just ran off into the jungle.
Meanwhile, bang! A gunshot goes off. Now, tell me why on earth a gunshot's going off in the middle of an uncharted island where the only folks that we know are there are our own crewmates. So naturally, I'm startled, I'm on my feet, and I'm racing towards Billy on watch. And when I arrive, There's no one there. No Billy, no Redlegs. So what's going on? And why the gunshot?
Just as I'm going to abandon the area and head back to camp, and bam! I hear, sounds like Billy's musket's gone off. So I'm thinking, it's like, well, sink me. Billy must have gotten up the gumption to go and shoot the captain like he's been taught. But now I'm hearing the scuttling about. I'm hearing things moving about, and it sounds like voices. I think I'm hearing Billy.
I just had to deal with the big, hairy, chewy thing that came at us out of nowhere.
But he insisted we go try to find it just in case it's, he hit it or whatever. We race out and it just completely disappears. It's like it's magical.
So anyhow, head back to camp, start looking around. Duncan's there, he's asleep. But looking around, there's some missing persons. Missing persons. So I figured naturally the only other place on the island other than our camp that we're aware of, other than scary uncharted jungle, is the temple. So maybe someone's having a bit of a party in the temple, eh? Bring a little rum there. Have a little drinking party. Stay up too late. Get into some shenanigans far away that the captain can't get mad at them for. Don't invite Cat to the party. Anyhow, I ran down the path towards the temple. And as I'm headed down the path, something big is crashing through the jungle underbrush. And I'm telling you, I don't know my animals, mate, but I think it were a tiger. If it weren't a tiger, it might have been a jaguar, or gorilla, or some kind of big scary chupacabra. Anyway, there was something out there, and it was big, and it was trundling around in the brush. So I made haste further down the path as fast as I could, especially as I just couldn't see what it was at the end of the lamplight.
And all of a sudden we come across Annie. Yeah, I know, Annie. I don't know what she was doing out there.
Once I figure the position, it's like I'm definitely hearing two people, and it's like the other one's Redlegs. So there's Billy and there's Redlegs, and there they are, and they're talking all sneaky like you know how they do sometimes, and they're so involved in their own noise they don't see me. So I steps out of the jungle behind them, and it's like, ahoy mates! What are the chances that we would be meeting in the jungle at night? Captain, I all but split me side. I mean, Billy's eyes popped right out of his head. You know the way they do, and and he's making those noises blah, blah, like he does. And Redlegs, I mean, he shrieks and he starts thrashing about like he's caught in a net. I mean, yeah, yellow ain't no color for a pirate, but that yellow kilt that Redlegs wears, that ain't no lie. So we start arguing, and it's like, and they be denying any wrongdoing. Oh no, we're not up to anything being out by the temple. Oh no, you didn't give us a fright. No, they're talking a lot of bilge is what they're doing.
And she's all, don't shoot at me. And Billy's like, I'm not shooting at you. I'm shooting at that crazy creature. And I'm like, well, would you two just calm down? We need to go back to camp. And then,
well, what's everybody doing out of camp? Why is everybody around the temple? What's everybody doing out here?
The Redlegs, I don't hate it. I mean, that's the whole thing. Yeah, that's kind of what happened there.
And we're getting pretty loud. And then I realized it's like, well, we're getting really loud because, well, all of a sudden there's four of us arguing.
So I raced towards the entrance of the temple. And lo and behold, I find 3 members of our crew arguing to beat the band, yelling at each other as loud as can possibly be. I broke it up pretty easily. Most of the time people listen to me, except when they're not inviting me to drinking parties at temples.
well, we're yelling at each other. Of course, here comes Kat, and she is like all fired up, being a redhead. So she's yelling at us, and I love Kat. And she's got like the best singing voice ever. Oh, I could listen to her sing all day long. She's so wonderful when she's singing. But when she's yelling at you with that voice, it's not so nice, because she can hit that range. But you know when you're standing by the cannons and they fire off and you get that ringing in your ears and you can't hear anything else but that sound that's left over. She kind of sounds like that when she's yelling at you, and it gets very confusing, and it's a bit scary because I don't know what she's saying. All I know is she's really mad.
That cat's shown up. So now she's there. She's all caterwauling and screaming and hollering the way she does. Honestly, Captain, sometimes she's more like a harpy. Even with all this uncommon noise, I'm hearing something from the temple. There's some pathetic little voice that's going, mates?
Mates?
Oi, mates. And it sounds a bit like Bones.
And I must have been sleepwalking, Captain. That's the only explanation for how I ended up inside of the Forbidden Temple where I wasn't supposed to be.
Well, of course, it's that feckless Poppin' J Bones. No, feckless. With an E, yeah. So, have you ever noticed about Bones? She always seems to be doing things she ain't ought to be doing and being wherever she ain't ought to be. You never notice that?
Yes, wouldn't you know it? Bones has discovered that the idol's been removed from the temple. So that's bad. That's the worst thing that could possibly happen.
I'm sure she's caused some mischief by being in the temple at night. I mean...
Now let's see. There's a bunch of pirates screaming at each other in the middle of the jungle. And there's Bones, who kindly tells us that the Tiki idol's been moved. Now that's a real good way to throw someone off your own scent. Oh no, this thing happened. I couldn't have possibly be responsible for it because I told you about it. Oh yeah, I've done that one before. I know how that works. Pirate. Anyhow, I rounded the lot up and dragged them back to the ship as I figured you'd want to have a word with them.
So it's like we're all arguing left and right. Next thing you know, I get freaking Jean-Claude Van Cat over here, swing kicking me in my stomach. And that's a big target too, I might add.
She's hollering.
Next thing I know, I'm wandering out. Cat's standing there, rounding everybody up.
All she needs to do is say, well, put a stopper in it, mates, and let's go back to camp, and we'll take this up with the captain. But no, she's got to be arresting us. I would doubt her veracity, but I'm sure that's been long gone.
Cat has grabbed me by my hook, and she's dragging me down there.
Cat put me in an arm bar, and then brought me here to talk to you while you're in your jammies. By the way, those are lovely I'm sorry.
Oh, is she upset? Well, you know how redheads get. By the way, why are all the women on this ship redheads? It's a bit scary if you ask me.
Be that as it may, I'm all for anything to get her to shut her gob and stop making all this infernal racket. I mean, we are in the middle of a jungle. We don't know what we might be attracting. So okay, let's be arrested then. And so we come back to camp, and here we are. And honest, Captain, that's how it happened.
And so here we are, and here I am.
And now I'm being brought in here to answer for something that I didn't do.
I mean, I was looking for Doc. I know better than to be around temple ruins at night. But these other blighters, I don't trust them one bit. I mean, if trouble don't find them, they go looking for it. And we don't need that kind of foolishness. We really don't. Cause a curse to come down on all of it, and that's not really what we need.
Now, I can't tell you which one of them has done it. I wouldn't put it past Bones.
No, not buying any of that, huh? The rat dog made me do it! You know that the rat dog didn't steal a Tiki idol. Okay, well then you're useless. Goodbye.
But I really wouldn't put it past the lot of them.
No! I didn't do it. Look, I did not. I did not throw your rum overboard. We're not talking about the rum. We're not talking about the rum. Your rum? Yeah, about that. What are we talking about? Oh no. No. Sorry, I can promise you right now, I went nowhere near that.
Right! Look, I's the pretty pirate, right? I'm always looking for new shinies, new bubbles, new adornments to make myself prettier. So I maybe kind of thought if there's this tiki idol that we're not supposed to touch, maybe there were shiny bubbles I could touch. So I lied to Billy and I told him I was going to go sleep on the beach, and then instead of sleeping on the beach I snuck into the temple because Billy's stupid, and if you throw a rock 10 feet away he's going to go see what the rock is. And when I snuck into the temple I was looking for the shiny baubles, and then all of a sudden bang goes Billy's gun. And I noticed that the tiki idol seemed to be missing and Cat was rounding everybody up, so I freaked out.
No, I have no idea where in God's green earth that tiki idol is. Because I didn't do it. I didn't touch it. No.
Still looking for Doc. I haven't seen Doc at all.
Missing persons.
So off I go to the beach. Actually, there's nothing else there either.
This big red thing came running out.
There was something out there, and it was big, and it was trundling around in the brush.
I look up, and all of a sudden I see this hairy monster.
I noticed that the tiki idol seemed to be missing.
I've really got to go and find Doc.
This is awkward. I'll see what I can do.